The world of the black market is the dark mirror of our society. It's a place where desperation meets greed, where human suffering fuels illegal business. When you hear the term illegal trade, your mind probably jumps to drugs, weapons, maybe stolen art. Dangerous, sure. But the black market? That's something much darker. Because on the black market, the most valuable thing we have is being sold. Human organs, and with them, human life. And no, this isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. Every year, thousands of desperate people become targets in a trade where the rules don't exist. The black market isn't just about breaking the law, it's about breaking humanity. In today's world, where the gap between rich and poor keeps growing, and where illness knows no borders, the human body has become a commodity, a product with a price tag that shocks the conscience. In this video, we'll dive deep into the dark world of the illegal organ trade. We'll reveal the ranking of the most sought-after and most expensive parts of the human body, and take a closer look at the terrifying business behind it all. A business that thrives in poor countries, but whose clients live in massive mansions. First, let's ask the most basic question. Why does this black market even exist? The answer is simple, but the consequences are tragic. The demand for organs far outweighs the legal supply. Every single day, thousands of people around the world fight for their lives, hoping for a transplant. In the United States alone, over 100,000 people are currently waiting for a new organ. It's estimated that every 10 minutes, a new name is added to that list. And every single day, 17 people die, simply because they didn't get their turn in time. But in many other countries, the situation is even worse. Strict requirements for the transplant list, combined with a lack of donors, push people to seek alternatives. And for the wealthy, those who feel like they're out of options and willing to risk anything, the black market becomes an alluring, dangerous path. On the other side of that path are darker figures, smugglers, kidnappers, corrupt middlemen, and even doctors who have abandoned their oath. But not everyone involved is a criminal. Some are victims of extreme poverty, desperate to feed their families, pay off debts, or survive. These people sometimes choose to sell their organs voluntarily, seeing no other way out. Then, there are those who never had a choice. Abducted individuals, street children, war prisoners, people whose disappearances will never be reported because no one is looking for them. International agreements ban organ trafficking, but most countries allow donation under strict laws to protect the vulnerable from exploitation. There is, however, one exception: Iran. Iran is the only country in the world where the sale of kidneys is legal and state-regulated. There's a system of financial compensation for donors, monitored by the government. As a result, Iran has one of the shortest transplant waiting lists in the world. Still, critics argue that this system is just institutionalized exploitation of the poor. Despite all the treaties, regulations, and oversight, the illegal trade in human organs is thriving. In fact, according to a 2018 UN estimate, up to 10% of all organ transplants worldwide may be illegal. That's tens of thousands of procedures every single year. And now, let's get to the question you came here for. How much do human organs actually cost on the black market? Let's take a look inside this disturbing economy. Number 5. The eye. For many, vision is the most important sense, and losing it can be devastating. The cornea, the transparent layer at the front of the eye, plays a key role in preserving sight. Its transplantation can restore vision to people affected by infections, injuries, or conditions like keratoconus. Since the cornea contains no blood vessels, the risk of rejection is relatively low, making these procedures often successful. corneas are commonly harvested from deceased donors, but they must be transplanted within just a few hours. There are reports of this practice occurring frequently in parts of Southeast Asia and Africa. One exception is the country of Sri Lanka, which is known for its extensive and voluntary cornea donation program, likely driven by cultural and religious beliefs. The price of a single cornea on the black market can reach up to $30,000. Number 4, the kidney. The kidney is by far the most commonly traded organ on the black market. But why is that? The reason is quite simple. A person can continue to live with just one kidney. This makes it possible to remove the organ from a living donor without causing immediate death. This organ is the most frequently sold voluntarily around the world. In some countries like Nepal, Afghanistan, or India, there are villages that have earned the nickname kidney villages. It refers to several impoverished communities where a significant number of residents have sold their kidneys, often driven by extreme poverty and the lack of economic opportunities. These villages have gained notoriety for the prevalence of organ sales among their inhabitants. People are often lured by the promise of quick money, and even though wealthy patients are willing to pay up to $150,000 for a kidney, the donor may only receive around $5,000, and sometimes much, much less. So, where does the rest of the money go? The brokers certainly don't work for free, nor do the doctors or the clinics where the surgeries take place. But what's even worse? Many donors are left to fend for themselves, receiving no aftercare. As a result, they often suffer lifelong health complications. Number 3, the liver. The liver is one of the most sought-after organs on the black market. What makes it unique is its remarkable ability to regenerate. This means that only a portion of the liver needs to be removed, allowing both the donor and the recipient to survive with functional liver tissue. As a result, liver transplants can be done using living donors, though the procedure is complex and carries serious risks. Despite this, many donors come from economically disadvantaged backgrounds, lured by promises of life-changing money. In reality, they often receive just a fraction of what the wealthy recipients are willing to pay. Worse, the surgeries are frequently done under poor, unregulated conditions, leaving donors with long-term health issues and no follow-up care. It's a dangerous gamble with irreversible consequences. And the price? On the black market, a liver can be worth up to $400,000. Number 2, the lungs. The lungs are absolutely vital for human life. They enable us to breathe and deliver oxygen to our bloodstream. But when it comes to organ transplants, they are among the most delicate and fragile. Their soft tissue is highly sensitive, and any damage during removal, transport, or surgery can render the organ unusable. In lung transplants, it is common for both lungs to be transplanted, especially in cases of severe lung disease where one healthy lung would not be enough to sustain life. However, in certain conditions, a single lung transplant may be sufficient. Timing is critical. Lungs must typically be transplanted within 6 to 8 hours after removal, or they will no longer function properly. This short window, combined with the lung's fragile nature, makes black market lung transplants extremely risky and difficult to execute. Yet despite the dangers, desperate patients are willing to pay astronomical amounts for a second chance at life. On the other side, donors, often from poor backgrounds, risk their health or are even coerced into giving up an organ with little regard for their future well-being. And the price for all this? On the black market, a pair of lungs can sell for up to $500,000. Number 1, the heart. At the very top of this list is the heart, the ultimate symbol of life, and the most expensive organ on the black market. The heart is an organ without which we cannot survive for even a minute. Unlike some other organs, you can't transplant just a portion. It must be the entire heart, and that means it can only be taken from a deceased donor. But even then, it's not simple. The heart must be removed and transplanted within a very short window of time, usually 4 to 6 hours. This extreme time sensitivity makes heart trafficking especially dangerous and disturbing. While wealthy patients are willing to pay enormous sums for a new heart, the reality behind how some of these hearts are obtained is often horrifying, involving organized crime, abductions, corruption, and manipulation of death records. And the price of this ticket back to life? On the black market, a heart can cost as much as $1 million. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to let me know in the comments, and maybe leave a like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, but it really means a lot to me. See you in the next video.